Hey guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is Salvador Brigman, and on this YouTube channel, we talk about crowdfunding, we talk about raising money for new companies, and really how the crowdfunding industry is changing. And specifically, on this video, I want to talk about a whole new financial product. This is something that's emerged quite recently in the real estate crowdfunding arena, and it's seeing a lot of traction. And that is the crowdfunded Reit. So what is a crowdfunded Reit? How can you use it? And what kind of traction is it seeing? That's what I'm gonna be covering in this video. The first thing I wanna say, to give you just a little bit of context here, is Fundrise was sort of the one to introduce the crowdfunded Reit concept using Regulation A+ of the Jobs Act, or Reg A+. So Reg A+ allows you to raise upwards of $50 million in a 12-month period for the Reit. And sort of what they've used this for in the last year has been astounding in my own witnessing, in my own view. They've done over $70 million worth of investment for both their income E-Reit and their growth E-Reit, which is that is really great success there. Congratulations to the team there. And now that sort of behavior is beginning to play out in other platforms. So Realty Mogul recently announced they now are offering the Mogul Reit, and I imagine we're gonna see other platforms out there starting to offer a crowdfunded Reit. So it's seeing a lot of traction. And I think that we're gonna see in the next few years, this becoming really mainstream, this really bringing real estate crowdfunding into the mainstream. So what is a crowdfunded Reit? Basically, it's very similar to a traditional Reit with one big exception, and that is a crowdfunded Reit is not publicly traded. It's really a longer term investment horizon. It's not publicly traded, meaning that the speculation, the various price movements of the market are not going to affect your investment, but it also means it's going to be harder to quickly turn your investment asset into cash. That's what we refer to as the liquidity of the investment. So a crowdfunded Reit is not as liquid as a publicly traded Reit. Another really big difference is that crowdfunded Reits, at least at the time I'm recording this, are offered directly through a platform. So when you go on Fundrise and you actually buy into their growth or their income E-Reit, what you're doing is you're buying directly from Fundrise. When you're buying a publicly traded Reit, you're actually going to a broker and they're selling you this financial product and then you're buying it. You're not buying directly the offering, and there are some broker fees / commission that might be involved there. But when you're buying directly from the platform, there are less fees, there's less of a transaction cost. That's not to say that there isn't a transaction cost. There is a transaction cost. It sort of varies from platform to platform, so you have to go and do a bit of your own research there. But that's one really big difference. I think that the next difference is going to be that we're going to see more income and growth Reits, which vary obviously based on asset class, whether they're investing in equities, whether they're investing in debt opportunities, or if they're doing more geographic based investing for their real estate properties. I think what's really cool too, when you go under Regulation A+ and you're doing an offering through this, you can select properties as you go, and you can continue to raise money for that Reit over an extended period of time. So you don't have to go there and say, we've selected these all properties and we're going to raise money for them. But you can continue to select them over the term of that fundraising process, which makes things a lot simpler for Fundrise or for Realty Mogul. So there are some key differences here. Basically, to recap, be aware of, it's less liquid, it's a longer investment horizon. Some platforms might offer a redemption period for your shares, and there are going to be fees or transaction costs based on the individual platform. But what's really cool about a crowdfunded Reit, and what gets me really excited, is the fact that both accredited and non-accredited investors can invest in crowdfunded Reits. And that means that you, the person listening to this video, person watching me, you're a retail investor most likely. You can actually add this to your portfolio. Like, you can actually try this out. There are investment minimums as low as $1,000 on Fundrise at the time I'm recording this. And also on Realty Mogul, I believe it's $2,500 for an investment minimum. So you can add this to your portfolio. You can see how it performs. And it's kind of cool too, like you're participating in a whole new wave or a whole new trend. And I think it's gonna be a lot bigger in the next few years. So that's a really big difference here, that retail investors can now participate in real estate crowdfunding opportunities. And that's something that I'm going to add to my ebook. If you want to check it out, that is Real Estate Crowdfunding Explained. It's in Amazon. It's relatively inexpensive. You can go and check it out. I have a lot of information there. All of the information I've coalesced about real estate crowdfunding I've brought to you in that ebook. And it's a pretty quick read from the Amazon reviews and everything, all the feedback I've gotten. It's pretty easy to read and has a lot of great practical, actionable information. The last thing I'll say here, you don't have to stick around if you're not looking to create a platform, but if you are gonna leave me, at least give me a thumbs up on this video and come subscribe to this channel. But for those of you out there who are looking to start a real estate platform, or you wanna take advantage of Regulation A+ and actually offer a crowdfunded REIT to your investors, you can do that. From my own research, it's gonna cost you between likely $300,000 and $500,000 in legal fees. So if you're a funded platform, that's a route that you could look into going down, offering this whole new financial product to your investors. And that is gonna obviously have some filing costs. It's obviously gonna have costs related to your time to set that up. But I think that in the future, this is gonna be one of the mainstream ways that real estate crowdfunding platforms monetize their business model. One of the ways that they are able to connect with both accredited and non-accredited investors. I hope that this was helpful for you, this video, introducing you a little bit to crowdfunded REITs. If you want more in-depth information, I'm a nerd. Like, I love in-depth information, like very specific, very long-form content. If you want to check out more information, I'm going to link to an article I wrote comparing Fundrise's e-REIT with a traditional REIT. And I'll also link to an article I did which breaks down a little bit more and goes more in depth into what actually a crowdfunded REIT is and what you need to know if you're an investor, which again, you can check out in the YouTube description. But thank you for joining me on this channel, on this YouTube video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was helpful for you. And I'd love it if you could leave a comment, let me know any questions you have, or let me know who you are. Like, I like getting to know people in the community. I like getting to learn a little bit about your experience, what you're working on, what your background is, all that kind of stuff. I'd love it if you could leave a comment down below. But again, my name is Salvador Brigman. This is the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel, and thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe.